Today's story is from Thailand and it is a Thai horror movie. The movie was released on Netflix. In the start of the movie, a girl is shown whose name is Fawn. Fawn is a maid in a bungalow. Fawn is seeing a therapist because she is experiencing some supernatural elements in the bungalow. But this doesn't help her as the supernatural things were real and not mind game. Fawn is terrified as supernatural things make her more afraid day by day. Fawn finally decided to leave the job. The owner of the house asks her driver to arrange some new maid at night and at night tells her daughter that whatever Fawn told her about ghosts, there is nothing like this and ghosts are not real. The daughter, whose name is Nid, experienced the supernatural activities in the house and fell on the floor in fear. The doctor checks her and tells her parents that she is suffering from dementia. The driver brings a new maid, Joy, and a senior maid show the whole house. The senior maid advises her not to ask anything and just focus on her work in the bungalow. That is to take care of the daughter of the house. Joy also witnesses a strange woman and then sees her in sleep. She gets terrified. Next day, she tells her owner that her earlier owners left the country, so she had to leave the job. Joy starts working and ignores all the supernatural activities around her, but she sees that woman again and again. Joy once given baths to Ned that they both see the woman. Joy helps Ned to sleep by telling her stories and then start exploring the bungalow. Ned wakes up and sees that woman in front of her and she gets terrified. Joy sees a picture in which she sees the same woman that she is seeing every day. Joy again sees that woman and run away. Nid is also standing there in fear. They all come to Uma and tells her everything. She also gives the photograph to Uma that she found in the library. Uma tells her that this woman was their maid. We see flashback where Uma and her husband are not having a good relation. Uma's husband also get money for work from her father. Uma and her maid get close to each other and they start having sexual relationship. The maid name is Ploy and she is the same woman that was in the photograph. The senior maid again asks her to mind her own business but tells her that Ploy was their housemaid but suddenly she disappeared. Joy also asks from driver about Ploy who tells her that Uma and Ploy were very close to each other. But one day Ploy left the house and no one ever saw her again. Joy sees Uma who is tearing Ned's drawing and later leaves the room in anger. Joy asks Ned about the woman and she says she is the maid. Joy takes out Ned's drawing from drawer and reaches at Uma's husband's room. Uma's husband takes the photo and walks away. We see flashback and we come to know that Uma's husband was also having sexual affair with Ploy. Joy asks Ned that whether she has seen Ploy and Ned says she has seen her many times. We come to know that the ghost of the woman is actually Ploy. Ploy ghost comes near to them and shows some vision to Joy. We come to know from this vision that Ploy was pregnant because of her relationship with Uma's husband. Uma also come to know about it and she gets angry. But Uma's husband wants the kid to come into the world. One day Ploy was about to take a bath when she slipped and fell down on floor. She is injured badly and calls for help. Uma reaches at the spot but she doesn't help her. Ploy cannot survive and dies and later senior maid wrap her body and buries her outside bungalow. But Uma's husband notices that she is still alive and due to wrap around her face she is dying. But no one stops there and they bury her alive. The story shifts back to present and reveals that Joy is actually the younger sister of Ploy and Joy was losing her senses after Ploy's disappearance. Ploy and Joy were really close to each other and to find out Ploy, Joy starts working as maid. It also reveals that Joy also killed his previous owner who was trying to assault her and later she killed his wife too. Joy also visited the same therapist that was Fawn's therapist. Fawn is the old maid of the house. We come to know that Joy is visiting this therapist from 2 years. Joy tells her therapist that she is doing well and after analyzing therapist also confirms that she is out of mental trauma now. It also reveals that Need is a child of Ploy and Uma's husband. Joy also tells therapist that she has found her sister Ploy and her therapist says that she should come with her sister next time. Uma arranges her birthday party and Joy is preparing some injections in her quarter. Guests start arriving in the party. The driver also goes to take Joy from her quarter. On her way, Joy kills the driver with a plastic bag. After that, she calmly goes into the kitchen and starts working as nothing happened. The old maid comes to see driver and Joy inject her, and the old maid starts breathing heavily. It seems like she is finding it hard to breathe and she dies. In the kitchen, she also had another maid and later kills her with a knife. Joy makes something in the drinks of all guests. Joy comes in neat room and put hand free on her ears so she would not listen anything outside. All the guests start vomiting blood and starts stabbing them one by one. Joy reaches in Uma's room, who has come to know about Joy's reality that she is Ploy's sister, but she again lied to her that Ploy left the house. Uma starts choking and Joy taunts her that now she will realize that how it feels to be choked because Ploy was killed in the same way. Uma tries to attack Joy, but the spirit of Ploy distracts her and Joy kills her with knife. Uma's husband calls Uma's father that he will soon leave this house and Uma. Soon he also starts choking. He comes out of his room and sees the dead bodies of guests. He also dies. Joy takes Ned with her and tells her that she is her aunt and takes her out of the house. She cries at the end and the movie ends here. The movie storyline is not complex and it is more like revenge story rather than a complete horror. It shows that the master used their maid for their sexual satisfaction but they didn't care when she was about to die. In fact, they were the reason for her death. Audience is also confused that when the maid Ploy loved Uma while she slept with her husband. But there is one hint that she didn't like to be with Uma's husband. Uma tells her to do so, but later she becomes jealous after the birth of child. Ploy was getting all the affection and she seems happy. The horror is shown as blood and dead bodies, but it is a great mystery thriller. This is all for today guys. I will see you soon with another story.